Every once in a while, I get asked how often a dancer buys new shoes, or more specifically, how often we toss out our old worn-out heels. You might be surprised how hard a dancer can be on her shoes, even as we make it easy to seemingly float on our tiptoes while elegantly wrapping around the dance pole. The truth is, there are several reasons why dancers retire their shoes. The first and most obvious is when they break. The heels can snap in half, the straps can get pulled out or tear off, and the insole can come unglued and fall out. The next most common reason a dancer will say bye-bye to her favorite heels is if they just get too filthy and stinky to wear anymore. A lot of dancers will hang on to a particular pair of heels because they fit so perfectly, or they match a specific look that the dancer likes. But no matter how much she wants to keep her smelly worn-out heels, if the other girls are commenting on the stinky smell of your shoes, then it's time to say goodbye and put them in the barrel. And that brings us to the subject of this video, the worn-out broken platforms that girls throw away, back in the trashed shoe barrel behind the lockers. Let's get up close and personal with some heels that have had their broken straps removed, so we can show you the open footbed, revealing a beautiful worn and sweaty footprint from the girl who wore them night after night. Most of the girls don't have a clue about the appeal of these trashed heels. They don't realize that there are a lot of guys who would love to have a pair of these filthy platforms to play with, and would pay good money for them. Which reminds me of a little incident that happened to me a couple weeks ago. The club had closed, and everyone had gone home except for the night janitor, Larry. Anyway, I drive all the way home, pull into my apartment complex, and realize I left my brand new cell phone back in my locker. So I turn around and head back to the club to get it. Once there, I get to the back door, and I notice that it's unlocked, so I go in and head to the locker room. As I'm walking down the hall, I can hear someone breathing really hard, like they're having a hard time breathing or something. When I turn the corner, I see Larry in the locker room, leaning over the worn-out heels barrel, and he's holding about 4 different shoes in both hands, his face pressed into them, sniffing and smelling them like a crazy man. He turns and sees me, and immediately drops the shoes back in the barrel. Then he grabs his mop and goes back to work like nothing happened. As I get my phone from my locker, I look over at him and tell him to keep the back door locked, if he wants any privacy. He looks at me and I smile, knowing what he's going to do as soon as I leave again.
Here, smell the inside of my pump. Does my sweaty footprint smell like my foot?